Hey guys, today's going to be about a question I get asked a lot about when you have to replace blades or when you can sharpen lawnmower blades. It's fairly simple, really. You can see these blades really haven't been sharpened a whole lot because I've seen them get all the way back here and people still using them to get all you can out of them. And there ain't really nothing wrong with that as long as the rest of the blade's still in good shape. But what usually starts happening, your top fin here, which acts like a fan to pull the blades of grass up, starts thinning out and starts chipping away. And if you look, that's what's happening on this. See, the metal's paper thin almost on that edge. It feels almost like a knife edge almost. And what happens, and it's still cutting alright, but what the problem is, it starts chipping away and pieces of metal start flying out from your mower, and it causes a safety hazard when they get like this. Now, the blades that's in the picture that you're looking at now are off a Dixie chopper at work, and we use them for mulching leaves and stuff, and they take a beating and they get ready to be changed out in the spring anyway. And as you can see, they got wore out bad, and the top part of the fin, like you see on this, was getting eat away from the leaves and sticks and stuff. And that'll happen after time and a lot of use. But if you take your blades off and your fin's still thick here, and you're not getting too far in from grinding it because your blade will get weak and bend easier, you're still good to go just to sharpen them and put them back on. Just normal wear and tear. But yeah, if it starts thinning out and gets paper thin, or you start seeing cracks through here like this, that's when you want to take them off. And don't try to weld them, because you get them welded, you're just making them brittle. All you're doing is just going to make the situation worse. And when you're sharpening the blades, you don't want to get the edge too hot. If you see it start turning blue, you done taking the temper out of it, and what will happen, it'll start chipping away. You can see right here is a good example of that. Which that may not have been from that, but I didn't even sharpen these blades. These were brand new blades. This is the first time this has been sharpened. And again, like I've talked about in other videos, you don't want it razor sharp. If you do, it's just going to dull in a matter of minutes or hours, depending on how sharp you got it. But people laugh at what I say, but you want it halfway between dull and sharp. And the other time when you need to replace blades is when they're bent this bad. So that's usually the way you can tell. Let this sit flat, you can kind of look at it. But in this case, you can just look at that and see it's bent bad. And actually the center bolt was loose and it apparently hit the deck. Apparently is what bent this one. So I got to change this one out. Here's another good example of a blade that should be replaced. You can see it's starting to get too thin here, and it's chipping away on the fin there, and it's starting to develop a crack all the way through it. So this one would have to be replaced as well. Also, another thing you want to check, if your mower has blade adapters like this, you want to check them. I took this one off and it was broke, and they're bad about that. These are just made out of cast iron. I put a new one on there and 2 new grade 5 bolts. And this should make it cut better, because it gets loose on there and it throws your blade out of line, and plus it can flex on there too. And of course these are star pattern here, this one here, and you want to inspect the star on the bottom of the spindle or quill assembly. I have seen them chip away and wear down so they won't grab a hold, and that throws the alignment off too. So, but yeah, just a few tips on when you can sharpen and when you should replace blades. Now, if you now some people will just keep on using this, and it's not safe, but that's one of them do it at your own risk kind of things. But I would recommend replacing it when it starts thinning out like that. Now, I've seen these crack right here. They're bad about cracking. When they start splitting, they're definitely time to get rid of them. If you see cracks, just throw them out. But yeah. So that's just a few tips on when you should just sharpen or when you should replace blades. And like I said, them pictures are an extreme example of when they should be replaced. But that probably ain't gonna happen on a residential mower. But yeah, I want to do a video talking about this. I've been putting it off for a while, and it's spring here, and I was getting the mowers ready, and I figured I'd make a quick little video on talking about the blades again. So, if you got any questions or comments, leave me a comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.